action. Uh, Taking action is something which is very important that we all know, and we all take actions because of various reasons. We will discuss today how mindfulness can help in taking action. Yes, Kakuli madam, that session that we had, probably today's session you will be finding some continuation towards it. So while we move ahead in today's discussion, we will see how it can help, right? So we will do that. So we start by expressing our gratefulness and gratitude uh, to anything and everything that we are grateful for. And then we move into the normal practice. Today we would be practicing deliberate breathing, and then we would be moving to a discussion of taking action. And taking action is more of an interactive session. And I would be taking cue from Thai Not Han. Thai Not Han, he passed away yesterday. So, and he was a Vietnamese Zen Thien monk who really spread the concept of mindfulness in Europe. And his books, and Devashish and me, we were discussing about a book on of Thai Not Han just the previous day. So, and he believed in certain things. He believed in certain aspects which we will discuss today. And being calm is one of them. So we will take it forward. So we express our gratitude to anything and everything that we are grateful for, whatever has helped us to make us what we are today. So close our eyes and just in silence, with reverence, we express our gratitude. Thank you. We also express our sincerest and our deepest regards for the Vietnamese monk Thai Not Han, who spread the concept of mindfulness, who is also called the modern father of mindfulness. And whatever we are practicing, a lot of these practices have been inspired by Thai Not Han. So we pray for his soul's peace wherever he is, and just be in silence for some time, express our respect towards Thai Not Han. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Sorry. What we would do now, we would be practicing deliberate breathing today. So deliberate breathing is something which we have practiced earlier. So it is basically, I will just explain how it works. So a lot of people, we do deep breathing like this. We become taller, right? We become taller. So we do deep breathing like this, but that's not the right way to breathe deep. The right way to deep breathe is to expand your body sideways, right? And how do we do that? We do that, and how it helps, because when we expand our body sideways, the diaphragm which is there, that puts pressure on the other parts of the body, and it helps the lungs to exhale fully. So when your lungs exhale fully, it impacts certain muscles and also chemicals in the body, right? And that actually helps us to give the the actual effect of deep breathing. So how do you do it is, I'll repeat this once again. Keep one hand just below your navel and one hand on your chest. This is just to have that feeling, right? Have that feeling. And when you inhale, you inflate your belly. When you exhale, you deflate your belly. That's all, right? And you do it very slowly. Do it very slowly. Don't rush. So that's how. So I'll give you a demonstration. So inhale, your belly inflates, deflating, fully deflate, right? Exhale. So it deflates. So inhalation, inflation, inflating your belly, exhaling, deflating your belly. Yeah, we practice it. We practice it for some time. Yeah, so start. You can guide yourself, right? Exhale fully. Between inhalation and exhalation, you can pause for a second. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Well, in the last session, we all understood of the importance of remaining calm. Today, we would understand or discuss, not really understand, but discuss what is taking action. What is the meaning of taking action to you? So, what is the significance of taking action? So, if someone says that taking action, so what does it mean to you? What does it imply to you? Any thoughts on that?
Doing something about the situation.
Okay, doing something about the situation. Okay, very good. Doing something about the situation, right? So taking action is doing something about the situation. Okay.
In a crucial situation.
In a crucial situation, doing something. Okay, taking action.
Doing something with a deliberate uh, end in mind. Means doing
The
it
deliberate.
deliberately.
Okay. Any example, Shekharji?
Okay, the best example I can give is like during the pandemic, I put on a bit of not bit, a lot of weight. So then the deliberate action of going for a walk every day in the morning, that's taking action.
Fantastic. Any other thoughts that comes to your mind?
So, but
Implement. Sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Implementation of the thoughts.
Yeah, implementation of the thoughts. Give an example, Deepak ji.
I'm a diabetic patient. Now it's a reversal process is going on. And I started just Shekharji said, morning walk, diet, controlled diet. And now the process is reversal.
Intermittent fasting.
Intermittent fasting.
Okay, that is taking action. Okay,
That is taking action.
that is taking action. Okay, any other thoughts? Devashish, sorry, you said wanted to say something.
Yeah. So action in see, action is a verb, and it is a doing verb. It's a doing word. So it is associated with doing something or the other. Now, in this life, when we exist, right, there are two things that can happen: either inaction or action. So it's the result of the karma that we do for every activity that we perform is associated with an action. Right? So actions are governed by thoughts, and actions are performed by our various senses and body parts. So God has given us the body parts to perform action rather than inaction, and the ultimate objective of these actions are to derive satisfaction, derive some level of performing, so that we can really justify our existence. So we can be like Kumbhakarn. We can do inaction for the whole of our life by sleeping, but sleeping also, as per the definition of action, is a action. It's a verb, right? So that's what it comes to my mind.
Okay, just one thought which came to my mind yesterday while I was listening to Dalai Lama, and I was reading the book of Thai Not On, and that's when I decided to, when I thought of discussing this with all of you to get a better clarity about things, right? Whether doing is taking action is only doing, or taking action can be being also. So when we take action, when we do something, say for example, Deepak ji goes for a morning walk, Shekhar does takes some action of maybe dieting, for reducing weight or going for morning walk, right? Pamela says that doing something at a particular space moment. So is action also being and not doing? So will doing nothing also be taking action, is also taking action? And while doing something, is it necessary for to be something, for being? So when I say, I'm doing something, I'm reversing my diabetes, I'm going for morning walk, I'm doing intermittent fasting, am I being something? And does that being help in doing? Does that being help in taking action? That was my thought. So just an open up to all of you. When you reverse your diabetes, or when you sleep, or when you are in inaction, so can inaction also be taking action?
No, see,
No, I didn't get it properly.
Yes.
Please,
Okay. Okay. So say for example, when you are doing intermittent fasting, you have something in mind, right? You have something in mind, right? And you do something. So before you do something, is being something important? Being observant, being calm, being thoughtful, is that important? Does being come before doing? Say for yeah. So that was my question. Say for example, if I do nothing, What is doing nothing? Doing nothing is also doing something,
Something, doing something.
right?
Yes, yeah,
Passivity. Passivity is also doing nothing, right? I mean, doing something. When I get angry, I'm doing something. I'm taking action. I'm taking it. But is that being important or doing important? That is what I'm coming to at the end of life, or at the end of the journey. What do we look at? What we have done or what we have been? So that was my question, which was intriguing. And Dalai Lama, when he said that before every action, whatever you do, you kill a mosquito, you have to be calm. So from there, I picked up, and Thaynothon also says that every moment, all of us are interested in doing something. So just an introspection, is it important to being something before doing? That was the question, Deepakji.
yeah. I think it is important to be with me unless and until I consult. Suppose, for example, you explain something first. Unless and until I concentrate on your words, how और मैं concentrate नहीं करता तो मैं आपकी कोई बात मेरे दिमाग में अंदर जाती नहीं ना. Being is important also. Then and then the action becomes important.
So I just want to bring an analogy here, Partho. So
Yes.
let's say a person who's in coma, right? Who's lying in a bed. He's completely probably thoughtless. So what is missing in him is probably the consciousness, right? Which is the functioning of the brain, which makes him act. Now, let's say a person who is in a bed and not in a coma, but his limbs are completely out of action, right? So he is still in a consciousness where we think that there is an intention. Whenever a thought comes in mind, there is an intention to make him think, which is his action at that state of things, right? Now, let's imagine an athlete who is waiting to start his 100-meter race. Okay. So there are a lot of thoughts occurring to him that, how am I going to start the race? How am I going to compete with my competitors? What is the kind of, what is the kind of score that I'm going to do there to be there? So there is one question that I want to compete and be the first one. But when he starts thinking that I'm there, so I will do my best. So that is his intention. I think that gives him a lot of action while he's waiting to start the race. So these are a couple of examples which prove that probably, the consciousness and the intentions with which we are doing it, the intentions could be also thinking and planning to do something, is also an action.
Yeah. Okay. Kunal, good morning. Yes.
Good morning, sir,
Good morning.
and all.
So what is it? What is important for taking action? So according to Buddhism, there are 4 levels of, uh, I should say being or doing. One is the first is the consciousness, right? You first become conscious, then you perceive, then there is an emotion, then you respond. There's a response. So what stage can you respond the best? Whether it is, and how do you achieve that particular thing? What Devashish just mentioned, that before an athlete takes runs or something, he does certain things, right? Whether that is doing or that is the preparation, that is being. So is being important before doing? So we have just Deepak ji said yes, it is important. Devashish just now said that yes, being is important. So what do we do for that, reaching that being state before doing something?
So, Partha,
Ashik.
from the way you are going, I think you are leading to one single word, and that is awareness. So,
Okay.
what you are
And
what
how
you're
do you
saying is,
become aware? How do you become aware? So yes, I am. So maybe for all of you, I will play that video once again in another 5-10 minutes, right, of Dalai Lama, what he said. And Thai Not Horn also says that we are always thinking of doing. What about being?
Being.
What about being? So being does not mean that we will not do. Doing does not mean that we will not be. So what is important is both being and doing. Of course, if you are being and you are not doing, then it is something else. But what is important before doing? That was my question to all of you. And I again keep it open to that thing and how we reach that taking action. So many of us, there are moments, right? There are moments when we have to do something. Say, for example, today is a cloudy day in Kolkata. Many of us need to go out to the market, but we decide not to go. Then, okay, whatever we have in the house, we will have it. I will not go. My priority is today is taking rest, and then I'll take a blanket and probably I'll put that blanket on myself and I will lie down. So is that doing? Is not going to the market also inaction? What leads us to this type of inaction and not taking action? That is also the second question which I have for you.
So probably being aware that the weather outside is not conducive to going out, and remaining at home makes more sense.
Yeah.
So you're
Taking
being
care of
aware,
self.
you're being aware of the situation, the
Okay.
moment.
Okay. Being aware of the situation. So what is your being at that point of time? What
This
you
is
said
again
is,
one action. Being
Taking
at
care of
home.
self.
sorry,
Taking care of self.
taking care of self. Yes, taking care of self is also a doing, and which is being aware. Shekhar is completely right. So being aware is the most important thing. Now, how can you be aware? What makes you being aware? What helps you to be more aware than what you can be or what you are?
We compare.
आप म्यूट पे चले गए दीपक जी. दीपक भाई आप म्यूट पे चले गए.
We compare the back experiences with current experience.
Okay.
Then we come to some decision. Cause and
Okay.
effect maybe.
Cause and effect. Okay, fair enough. And for that, what is that we require? Actually, what I want to discuss, we are going towards it. Maybe a deeper discussion or thought can help us. Yes, Pamela.
Mind. It's our mind.
And
Which
what
is
go?
forcing us.
Yes. So taking action is the body. We take action with our body or with our mind also. Mind can also take action. We have heard that a lot of people can bend iron rods with the mind just by looking at it or by holding it. Some people can pull a truck, pull an entire vehicle with their hair, with their body, right? So which many of us think that it is impossible. We find that a lot of people, we have seen in the Discovery Channel, with just a finger they can stop a unruly elephant moving towards it. We have seen a lot of people doing a lot of things which we cannot think of. Arunima Sinha, in spite of not having her legs, having prostrate legs, she goes and climbs the mountains. That is doing, right? But what is it before that? So is it when it is being, what is that being that helps us to take action?
Being in the present, in the now.
In the now. And what?
Obviously, if you're in the now, you are going to be aware, more aware of the moment.
Okay. So, Devashish, anything to add? You have unmuted.
No.
Okay. So, I will play that video once again, and maybe you will, that would help us to somewhere to relate, because this is very, very important. Awareness, again, I should say awareness, which helps us. Just a minute. So can you see this? Can you see this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, now just show me, anyone show me a thumbs up when you hear the sound.
The Dalai Lama said that in the 21st century,
Okay, great. So this is, I'm repeating this because this actually for Paul Ekman, who is called to be the master of emotions, this was a moment changing or a life changing discussion with His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, and I would request you to listen to it once again. Many of us have heard this last week, but I would request you to listen to this.
we must find out how to achieve a calm mind, and our approach must be secular.
My thinking is our target, calm mind, because the calm mind directly so related with peace of mind. And calm mind, I think the 24 hours, including dream, calm mind, you see, can maintain. Right? Compassion, 24 hours, I don't think. So occasionally, in a practical level, when some disturbing mosquito come, then sometimes you need little strong action. But still, you see, that kind of action, you see, can take while your mind very calm.
Yes, I think there's a distinction you're making between a continuous state, a calm mind,
Yes.
and a capacity that can be called forth when an event requires it, like compassion. Compassion isn't there continuously, but when you see suffering or anticipate suffering, then the compassion emerges. And if I understood you correctly yesterday, I'm not sure I did, but if I did, then if you have a calm mind, it is more likely that the compassion will emerge when called for. Yes? Or
Oh,
no?
that also, yes. Calm mind, you can see things more realistically, more objectively,
More vividly.
or vividly several ways. But now you see, my sort of approach is now question how to develop calm mind. The real sort of obstacle or destroyer of calm mind is fear, suspicion, hatred, anger, greed, too much ambition. These things are the destroyer of calm mind. Now, as I mentioned yesterday, according to the map of emotion, these are the opposite of calm mind. Now here you need self-confidence. More self-confidence, less fear. And then also, it's the objective sort of mental attitude, greed, also less. And anyway, material value, there is a limitation. Even you own whole world, the greed may not satisfy. Still want Mars, moons, or these things. So in material field, in any way, but there is limitation. So in that field, better content. Now I have this much. Oh, okay. Use common sense. Objectively look. And then another thing, if you become billionaire, is guarantee you be 100% happy person. No. The content, much better. So all these things, you see, the calm mind can see things are more clearly, more realistically, and also more holistically. So one of the, I think, reason, greed, anger, these are just see one side, lack of holistic view. So now, how to develop self-confidence, inner strength? Once we develop more altruistic attitude or compassionate attitude, then there is no basis of fear.
I explain more about this topic in my ebook, Moving Towards Global.
So when we talk of taking actions, right, what is important as per Dalai Lama is to have a clear view. It is like having a window where you can see the other side very clearly. Only then you can decide, what whether you want to see that or not, whether it is beautiful or not. That comes later on, right? So being calm is a prerequisite for taking action. Being is a prerequisite of taking action. That is what he thinks. And if you see, Thai Not Horn also says that being, a lot of people, a lot of us have thinks that just sitting does not help. But sitting and doing nothing, I think it brings the beingness which helps in the doing. That is where I was coming to. So any thoughts on this? I mean, Debashish, Pamela, Sonali, Kunal, any thoughts on this? Shekhar, Deepakji, Kakuli Madam, whoever is here in the session. Do we realize that being a certain thing, whether it is calmness or disturbed, I'm not getting into that. That is more important than doing and taking action. So I will give you an example. Day before yesterday, there was an interaction with me with one of my friends. And that friend, he became a little agitated on certain things, that I was not picking up his call, and I responded to him late, and he told me certain things. So I laughed at him. I actually smiled because I was feeling a little amazed that how he was doing a little, I thought that he was little childish. Then I realized that his expectation out of me is something which is, there is no boundary, that he should do this because he is my childhood friend. Maybe a friend which I have made now, he will not expect that from me. And when he expressed himself, he expressed out of that being. And he still is in that frame of our school days. So I do not know whether it makes sense, but I thought that being is very important for taking action. And that is why I related this to this video. Any thoughts on this? Does it bring any awareness or something? As I said, consciousness, perception, emotion, and response, right? How you respond. So how would this thought change our taking actions? That is where I'm trying to come now. Any thoughts on that?
So probably, Partha, I'm not 100% sure, but the way the whole thing is going, I feel that if you are in a calm state of mind, then you have better control over your emotions. And when your emotions are controlled, obviously emotions prompt actions. So if your emotions are controlled, your actions also will be controlled.
Yes, absolutely.
For example, if I'm very angry, if I'm not calm and I'm angry, and it triggers an emotion in me, and I have to now call someone. That is part of what I have to be doing or taking action. So at that time, in an angry state of mind, with an angry emotion, probably the call that I will be making, even if it is to a near dear one, friend, business call, whatever it may be, the output or the response that I will be giving will not be the response I would or I should have been giving.
Okay.
It's a little confusing the way I
No,
said
no,
it.
no, no, it's okay. It's okay. No, no, it's not confusing. It's not confusing. Yes, Sonali, it's not confusing, Shekhar. Shekhar, only thing, while we say that we take actions, the purpose of this session is to understand the importance of being.
Okay.
Understand the importance of being, being there. Say, for example, I'm being here. Being here is also an action that I'm sitting here or you are sitting here. You have taken an action to be here. So what is doing nothing? Doing nothing is, there is some nothing. Is there anything called doing nothing? By our definitions, actions are doing something. So my question is just sitting, what is doing nothing? Is doing nothing really doing nothing, or doing nothing helps us in being? That is my next.
I think doing nothing helps in being, because when you're doing nothing, uh, maybe it is in a sitting position, lying down position, whichever position you are, but you have no thoughts, or you are not thinking about the past nor about the future, and you are in the now, then you are very much being.
Okay.
Being present, it's the state of mind in present, like right now, something to be right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Agreed. Yes,
Present
Pamela.
mind.
Is it
Absolutely. Absolutely, Kakuli madam. Being
is it
present.
not,
How do
again?
we, yes, sorry, Pamela.
No, no, it's okay.
Carry on.
Is it not that again the awareness of mind should be there?
Awareness.
Power of
Absolutely.
reasoning has to be increased. It's again
Absolutely.
stemming to that point, I think.
Okay. So according to you, what is doing nothing? So you had a perception of doing nothing, right? Today, I have my perception of doing nothing was just sitting down idle. And the word idle, which has come, is laziness, right? Idle, lazy, doing nothing. He does nothing. He sits at home. We have heard that so much. Now, is there a difference between doing nothing also? And is doing nothing is doing something?
Yes.
Of course.
Whatever you are doing is an action. Action is a result of the stimulation that we are getting in. So, doing nothing is again something simulates a person. वो कुछ नहीं कर रहा है और ऐसा बोल बोल के हम उसे और मोटिवेट करते हैं. Just don't do anything.
Okay,
That is
Deepak.
the
Great.
Yeah, it is not necessary that momentum is required at every time. Just doing nothing, okay, your brain goes on. That is also in action, I think so. That is also a type of action, something we are doing. Sitting, just suppose I am sitting in the chair now. I'm just, in other sense, I'm doing nothing.
So doing nothing, according to the English, the doing nothing, or in whatever languages we translate to, doing nothing means not moving our hands, legs, writing, moving, playing. So that is doing nothing, right?
Actually, this is not
Not
possible at all.
necessary, Partha.
What is doing nothing, Shekhar?
Probably like when I go out for my morning walks, I mentally, at times, there are very short periods, but there are times when I completely blank off and I'm just walking. So at that moment, I think I'm very much in the present, because no thoughts of the past or the future are coming. I am objectively just seeing the people who are passing me, and my whole consciousness and my whole mind, body is in the walk only.
Okay. In the walk, which is taking action, right? So your
Yeah.
mind is, you're walking.
Yes.
You are not thinking maybe
Yeah.
of past or future. So,
Yeah.
okay, you are doing nothing in that sense while you are
Yes.
walking. Okay,
Yes.
fair enough. Okay. I just had a perspective which I wanted to share is that probably before taking action, the so-called doing nothing is important to be aware. So how can you be aware? You can be aware when you are still, where your mind is still, when your mind is calm. So one perspective which I just wanted to discuss with you or bring to the notice and understand also. So before taking action in actual terms, that we go to office or do something, right, which is habitual or non-habitual, is doing nothing, silence, awareness, calmness, is that important? Again, I'm repeating, the four stages are consciousness, perception, emotion, and that leads to responses. Is it important then that being or doing nothing as per the thoughts is more important than doing something, taking action? Does many of us do not take action because our being is different from the person who literally is taking action? So when beings are different, when we are differently thinking or awareness is different, we take actions differently. A person not going out, a person staying in, is still in the being states, different being states, which is compelling them to take different actions. And not doing anything, is it a precursor of being calm, being aware, which helps us to take action? That is the thought which I wanted to bring here. To some extent, I think it is being clear, but if there is any other thought, we can discuss it.
So,
Devashish,
Partha,
Kunal.
uh, wouldn't it be that you and I, uh, while doing the same thing, could be being in different ways?
Yes, absolutely. And being different ways can bring in different actions.
Yeah.
Right. What is important, probably what we heard and what we realized is calmness, awareness, which awareness has come in so many times, right? You have talked of awareness, Pamela has talked of awareness, Debashish has talked of karma, right? So that is also awareness. Deepak ji has talked of it. Kakuli madam has said being in the present. Stimulation has been talked about by Sonali. So how is that brought in? That is what. So taking action is actually a result of being or awareness or that calmness which comes. So taking action or taking inaction depends on our perceptions and our awareness which is there. And being calm probably makes us that focus being there. So if you look into Patanjali's Ashtanga also, between the external actions and internal action, there is pratyahara. Pratyahara is doing nothing, getting, just coming out of all the senses. So does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah,
agree
it
with you.
does.
Can you hear me?
So,
Yes, Devashish, now I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so
Devashish, you are on mute, I think.
uh, is it okay?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to bring the concept here. I mean, as you said very rightly, but I want to bring the concept of continuum, right, which he mentioned over there, that life is a continuous cycle, right? So awareness is an instantaneous state of mind. Okay, when you want to generate awareness or when awareness comes to you. but it's a function of a long cycle of life that you are, which brings to the point. I mean, I want this to be explored further, is that there is this in Gita and our scriptures, Tat Tvam Asi, right? Which actually means being, right? Which actually means being with the Paramatma, right? So those realization comes over Sat Chidanand, right? Sat Chit Anand, right? So which is what he was saying, that the fear, the anger, this, that, all these vices ke against me, if you have to fight to become calm, then you need realization. So each individual of us are at different stages of realization. And the ultimate are those have got enlightened, right? So it's a question of that realization which reflects in our day-to-day actions, right? So, and that is why we say that he has a great attitude, he is a good person, he is a nice human being, because you react first being, first you are being what you are based on the function of this continuum, and then you act, and that reflects you, your being again. Yeah. Sorry, I mean, I brought a lot of
No,
other things, but
no,
I hope it
no,
makes sense.
no. If you
Yeah.
see, it is the same thing, Devashish, because when you talk of Satchidanand and when you talk of, taking, I mean,
Tattvamasi.
yeah, so when you talk about these concepts are actually being.
Yes,
It is
I thought
not
so.
talking about doing anywhere. It is
Right,
only talking of being, right?
correct.
So when we talk of doing something, I'll give you an example. Maybe we take 10 minutes. Many of us take 10 minutes in sitting, just sitting and concentrating before getting into a meeting. What we are doing is we are focusing our mind into that work. And when we are focusing our mind into that work, that is being calm. When Shekhar takes a morning walk, he goes to morning walk to lose weight. But today, one reflection which he had just brought in is that when he walks, he does not think of the past, future. He's just in the present, enjoying the whatever he's looking at. That is being. But that does not come into our discussion most often. What comes is the morning walk. But what morning walk also does is getting us into a state of being. And after we come back home, maybe sip a cup of tea, we feel that comfort. Many of us run to be in that being. So while we say taking action does not only state, or I should say that being is a precursor of taking action. Being calm is a precursor to taking action. When Deepak ji thinks that he will reverse diabetes, right, and he starts taking action, and maybe after a day he thinks that, okay, I will have a cheat day today because, okay, I'm feeling bored. It is that feeling, it is that being which takes action, right? So before ending the session today, one of the important things which I would like to bring to your notice again is that helping us to be is not movement. Helping us to be is in stillness. And the stillness is not body stillness. The stillness is mind's stillness. So that is what calm means. So he says that even when you hit on a mosquito, you have to be calm, otherwise that mosquito will fly away. So with that, again, maybe the last few words from some of you. Did this discussion help you? Did this discussion make us aware of importance of being? Uh, do you think that this actually helped? And I would want to request you to lay our hands, or maybe just read books on beingness, that might help you. Yeah. So any thoughts? Any thoughts?
So, Partha, we have been practicing mindfulness. The idea of mindfulness is to be present,
And
be in the present. Yeah, giving this a new view. I won't call it a perspective or anything, because then
it's
it would
already there.
become, yeah. So giving it a new view that, okay, being, how important being is before you take action. I think it was a wonderful session, and I hope that I'll be able to join you guys more often than I've been able to do so. But yes, it was wonderful, and as usual, Devashish's contribution towards the discussions have been wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks, Shekhar. And one more thing is that if you really see what the Western world is now bringing in, or discovering, or discussing, or reflecting, it has been reflected thousands of years before in the East, right? So when I was talking about consciousness, perception, emotion, and response, there is being there itself. However, I think it is just very important that we understand the importance of being overdoing, or that it is a precursor of doing. So that helps. And one of the things that helps us in being is practice of mindfulness, definitely, which cannot be overemphasized. Okay. Yes, thanks, Shekhar, for that. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, sir, Kunal.
Hanji, Kunal.
Sir, being is very important, and this session is very helpful. Being aware is important. I just want to say that be who you are and say what you feel, and it's not being rude if you're being real. And as far as action is concerned, I just want to say possible journey is the one you never begin. So these are my thoughts.
Come again, the last word you got this time. I lost you.
The only impossible journey, as far as action is concerned, that the only impossible journey is the one you never begin.
Fantastic. Very true. Very true, Kunal. Can we see you? We have not seen you. Are
Yeah.
you? हाँ, ये अच्छा लगा ना? Handsome face देखने में, right?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Kunal. Okay, thanks, Kunal. Anyone else? Anyone else reflecting on today's discussion? Being. So the word being is very important. I mean, that's what we have been hearing. But what my realization, before my realization, anyway, anyone else would like to share? Kakuli madam, did you find this beneficial?
Yeah. I thought the thing is that we have to be very calm in our mind. That is the foremost thing. The mind should be calm.
Yes.
And be calm, you have to practice mindfulness or whatever means which will help you to be calm.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Anyone else wants to
I,
share
I,
anything?
I found it very useful. Consciously, I'll do something in future or in nearest future. Being present, I'll try to be being present. That is the main motto of mindfulness, actually. Being awareness, as Sekharji said. I really found it useful for me.
So being, if you and I would request you to all of us, because we have practicing, or we are gathering almost every Sunday. Some of us meet every day and practice. one request that I would have make to you is that is every day, if we just experiment it, even before going for a morning walk, if we can just be still and calm and then go for the, see if that experience is different. See if the experience can be different. Even before starting cooking, if we just be mindful and hear out, see out, feel out, or his SHF is all about being, actually mindfulness. Okay, great. So just another 1 minute. So if there is no thought, we will end the session by practicing sea rest, right? Devashish mentioned yesterday that we had not practiced sea rest for a long time, and maybe this sea rest will help us in being calm. So we will just do it for maybe 3 minutes. So how do we do sea rest? We close our eyes, and when we close our eyes, even when we close our eyes, we can see there is some shades that we can see in front of our eyes. So request you to close your eyes and focus on the shades. You will see some gray shades and dark shades. Focus on that. And you can label it as sea rest. So just a small practice, maybe a micro hit. Close your eyes. And you can see some dark and gray shades in front of you, or just behind, in front of your eyes, or behind your eyes. Just focus on that. With curiosity. On the dark shades and the gray shades. Sea rest. Sea rest. Sea rest. Wonderful. Thank you. Very softly and gently open your eyes and let the lights to come in. Wonderful. So thank you very much. And we have our daily mindfulness sessions from 7:15. Welcome to all of you. And till we meet again, Om Shanti, and let today be the happiest day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Partha, and thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Thekar. Thanks.
Thank you. Have a nice day, everyone.
Thanks,
Ciao.
Deepakji. Thanks.
Goodbye.
Thank you all.
Thanks.